What? What? I can't hear you. It's in the kitchen next to the sink. Good morning. Sorry, I'm so used to saying that because I used to stream in the morning. Good afternoon. Do my mouthpiece buzzing. I do my mouthpiece buzzing each day. I like to start with that just to get the lips warmed up a little bit. Now I'm going to move on to the Chicowicz flow studies. I'm going to play them relatively soft to just continue getting better and more used to playing soft, I guess. Hope everybody's doing okay today. As always, if you have any questions, that's a big part of why I'm here. So do not hesitate to ask. Yo, Patrick, what's good, man? How you doing? You finished in Cincinnati, right? You didn't just leave. congratulations. Welcome to life after school. There are days I wake up and I'm still happy that I don't have to go to school. I don't have any papers to write. It's amazing. Hey, Celestino. It depends on the goal of what I'm doing. Generally, I try to be pretty strict about intonation all the time. But if you are in the middle of developing your intonation, like, it might not always be perfect. If you stick around until after this next exercise, I'm going to start doing some long tones. And I'll kind of talk you through how I do those long tones to work on intonation. But in general, I try to be pretty strict just because, if we're not strict, we'll start to get a little bit like, oh, it's fine. And I think in general, a little bit of intonation variance is okay. But when you start to allow a little bit, then maybe it turns into a lot. And I've had a lot of conversations with non-brass players, and they are more particular than we are. And so I'm trying to be more particular. Yeah, the papers were the worst. I wrote a 17-page paper on the compositional techniques of DJ Tiesto in one night. I wrote from 6 p.m. to 9 a.m. straight. I went and played in a master class, and then I got back around 11, and then I wrote until 2:30 and turned it in, and I got a B. That's because I was very negligent. I was one of those students. I was just like, I'll wait till the very last second. Like, I don't care about anything. I just want to practice the trumpet and party. And it was a very stressful time because if I wouldn't have passed that class or whatever, I probably wouldn't have graduated. So if I could go back and do it differently, I probably would do it differently now. But we made it, Yeah, Connor, when I was at OCU, I did a similar thing. It was for Dr. Heine's class, and I wrote it was like an all-night paper. I don't really remember what the paper was on. Maybe Waldstein, the Beethoven piano piece. All I remember is I wrote all night long, and then when I finished, it was like something like 6 or 7 a.m., and so I just started playing Super Mario RPG because I didn't want to go back to bed. It's good to talk to you, man. Don't be a stranger. I'm pretty sure it was form and analysis. That's the class that I had to write this paper for. Jamie Whitmarsh, both papers, Jamie Whitmarsh, kind of saved me. He was someone I could bounce some ideas off of and would help me see things a little bit, I guess, through a different lens instead of me just trying to figure it out all on my own. I think I goofed off so much in Dr. Heine's classes that, when I've been back to OCU, or I think I've sent him a few Facebook messages over the years, he has not really responded. So either he didn't see them or he just was like, this guy goofed around so much, he's too, I don't know what his opinion of me is, but I have not had much communication with him. Yeah, he worked hard for that doctor. You got to call him doctor. All right, so that's not where. All right, so we finished Beach 18. We'll get there, but we're gonna redo the. So we can see we've completely finished this program. So towards the end of my practice session, we'll get to what to do with that. Unless someone wants me to like do that now because they can't stick around or whatever, feel free to let me know. I can take care of that now. It doesn't really matter when I do it. All right. Long tones with a drone. So Celestino, if you're still here, I have this website that I found called tuningdrones.com, and I'm using this plus a tuner to help me play better in tune, play more closer to 440. And so you'll see kind of how I do that and how I'm going through it. But yeah, I'm being very picky here because that's the purpose of the work is to develop, my ear around specifically intonation at 440. So we hit go on the metronome, and then we're gonna start right there, and I will turn this down for you all. Yo, Triple J, I'll get you in just 1 second. This is I don't know if it's going to focus on it. A Yamaha Xeno, it's a Gen 3 Xeno, a New York YM Bell C trumpet. Triple J, if I'm being honest, it's hard for me to answer that question. I don't think I'm necessarily chasing the sound of any Trumpet Heroes. Like, I like the sound that I create on the trumpet, and so I don't know if I'm thinking to myself, I need to change or, radically develop the sound I'm making. But at the same time, I'm in total transparency. I'm at a point where I'm realizing, like, I'm creating the sound that I want to create, and so, but there's still certainly levels left. So there's going to be some exploration for me, I think, in the future. I'm kind of waiting till I get this dumb Beach project out of the way, and then I want to dive into some more, cellists and singers and violin players and try to study their musicianship to figure out what I can learn because, there's layers of musicianship I feel like I have to explore, and so the physical sound that's coming out of my instrument, I feel like I like it. I feel like it's me. I feel like it's a good resonant sound, but I definitely have some room to grow, a lot of room to grow, I think, in how I apply that sound and in what contexts and stuff like that. Hopefully that answers your question. Okay. So that was better than 2 days ago. 2 days ago, I worked through these exercises and it just felt awful. And so this is a good time, I guess, to talk about this. So 2 days ago, when I practiced on this horn, I hadn't played this C trumpet in 4 or so days. I had been playing these rotary trumpets that I'm going to review, and then I had been playing B flat. And so when I came back to this horn after a while, some things just didn't feel like they were slotting or feeling great. And I just was making the guess or the hypothesis that it's because I haven't played this in 4 or so days that I'm not doing well right now, or at least it doesn't feel good, and that if I come back to it after my break, it's going to be fine. And that has just basically proven to be true. And so sometimes in our practice sessions, we're struggling, but it's not because we're doing anything wrong. It could just be circumstantial. It could be because we didn't get enough sleep. It could be because, again, we haven't played that instrument in a week or something. We've been mostly focusing on C trumpet, and so we haven't played B flat, and so B flat doesn't feel great. It could be because, I've had maybe times where I worked out kind of hard and there was some fatigue in my body, and that affected me. It could be because our horn is dirty. I can't believe I've had experiences in my life where I was like, oh no, my career is ending. I can't do anything. And it turns out my instrument was just dirty. And so being able to come up with some reason that we think is the problem and then addressing that problem, I think helps remove the feeling that it's us all of the time. Now, my skills are pretty developed and pretty consistent, so it's a little easier for me to do that. When I was younger and my skills weren't as developed, I was more likely to assume the problem was me. And this is usually a good thing to think. The only issue with it is just making sure that you're thinking, well, the problem is me. I need to do the things I know that make it better, and not starting to practice out of things like fear or like, I have to fix this problem right away, and you start hammering it, and all of a sudden you're, 30 minutes deep, your chops are fried, and you don't know if you've even accomplished anything. So I hope that makes sense, because it's something that I think really helps me stay on track when I am practicing. All right, so on the next thing on the Gold Method app, we have arpeggios at 63. So what I have been doing this whole month, and I wouldn't necessarily recommend doing it the same way I'm doing it, but this whole month I've been going F sharp, G, A flat, A, B flat, B, and C in the arpeggios. And previous to that, I was doing F sharp, G sharp, B flat or A sharp, C, and on the other day, G, A, and B. So I took from low F sharp to low C, or middle C. I took those exercises and split it in half. Practiced half of them one day, half of them the other. And then, as a way to challenge myself, I combined all of them. And now what I want to be able to do is get into higher ranges and tessituras. And so yesterday, I practiced G, A, B, C sharp, and E flat. So today I'm going to practice F sharp, G sharp, B flat, C, D. And I'm going to do that to help me get into the upper register and practice first attacks in the upper register. So you see what I'm talking about. And so I practiced all those long tones at a pretty conservative dynamic, piano, mezzo, piano. And so each of these, they're going to be shorter. So instead of 8 counts that I'm holding it, it's going to be 1 beat at 63 beats per minute. And so I'm going to play them louder and try to just nail it right in the center of the pitch so I can continue to figure out where I'm not quite hearing it, or to continue to build confidence in what I know that is right. Sorry. So with each one of these first attack drills that I'm doing, I'm aiming to keep the air forward so that I feel it on my lips like that. And then I'm aiming to be, I guess, confident, or what's the word? I'm trying to just support a lot when I'm playing. So keeping the air forward and really supporting the sound are my two goals with every single attack. It may look like I'm just going through it, but there's a lot of processing and a lot of focus that's happening to be able to play this at the level that I desire to play it at. It looks like I disconnected there for a second. Hopefully everyone's back and it's all working now. So my hope is practicing these things will ultimately make it easier to do stuff where I have to start on a high note, like Star Wars, where you start on a B flat, or to be able to play something like the Zarathustra Call, or the Alpine Symphony that goes up to the D the high D up there. Just developing some familiarity of where is this note, how do I have some confidence in being able to play it with security, so that there is some amount of a neural pattern that's grooved when I get there. So something like, again, the Zarathustra Call, hopefully because I just nailed the high C, my chops kind of know where that is. right? Like the more confidence I can develop in my fundamental routine that gets me up there and it feels pretty good, the more ability or the more confidence I'm going to have when I'm actually in the orchestra, and I can think a little bit less about the mechanics of playing the trumpet and a little bit more about the musical content that I wish to share, I suppose. All right. So I forgot to do this ahead of time, so I need to, as you'll see, I need to, first we're going to do this and that. So week 2, day, I guess I don't even have to put what week it is. So for whatever reason, I didn't record a whole bunch of stuff in between there. Not sure why. But June recordings. So now we highlight all of these. We do the same thing. This is how I keep things nice and organized if I need to go back and listen to something. So week 3, day 3, this was 6/18. And then I need to make 8 tracks for my fundamental exercises. So in previous months, I can even show you. In previous months, if we go to this is my March fundamentals. You can see that I recorded my long tones. I recorded my arpeggios for all of that. So having done a lot of that recording work in the past, I know what it is I'm trying to do. And so that's why I'm not recording those now. And so now we got to look at the Gold Method app and Bylin, page 21, number 19 at 60. So Bylin, page 21, number 19 at 60. So I'm just going to drag this over to this other screen so it's easier for me to see and fill this out. Bylin, page 32, number 32 at 114. And then Clark for evens at 95. Clark 5 evens at 109. Saxa 55 at 97. Saxa 73 at 66. Arbin, page 175, number 80 at 135, and Arbin, page 177, number 88 at 152. Okay, so you can see now that I like to do this all ahead of time so I can keep things really organized. So you can see my entire routine for the day. I guess you can't see the ones underneath this, but so we're starting with Bylin, page 21, number 19. So we hit record, and then we open this. Bylin, page 21, number 19. feel like all of those were decently in tune until that last one with all the 1, 2, and 3 combinations. So with this one right here, it was just, I mean, I don't want to call it a fluke, right? Because things happen, and I wouldn't call it a fluke, but it was just like something was misgrooved, and I felt that it would just be valuable for me to start over and re-groove it. So we're just going to delete that one, and then there will be no record that ever happened. So let's give it a listen to see where we're at. So in the exercises yesterday, or 2 days ago, I was finding myself playing well, but I was struggling to get started going ba-dee-da-dee-da-dee, right? It was more sort of, I was a little late to the first attack or something like that. So I was really trying to just go right after it and see what happened. So that was better, but the first note wasn't super centered. It's better. Okay, that was pretty good. It's pretty good. So yeah, now we've kind of found a groove. Yeah, just the C sharps were kind of sharp there. Okay, so hit record, but I want to say something real quick. So I was trying to I was focused on trying to be right on time, body da dee da dee, and then really thinking body da dee 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 do. So trying to get in the center of all of those body da dee 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 do. Those were the two main focuses or foci of the work I was doing there. All right. So I think that was good. I want to listen to that. So I don't always listen back to the recordings that I make. When I do listen back to them, it's for one of two reasons. It's either musical, I'm trying to see, am I doing what I think I'm doing? Or in a situation like this, it's like, I think I did everything that I want to do. And now I need to listen back to see if I'm correct or if there's things that I'm not hearing. So, like, pretty close, you know? It's not 100% perfect, but the flow is good. The point of the exercise is making sure that there's no barriers, that the air is... My two goals for flexibility are always that the air is consistent, forward and consistent, and that I'm playing from the center of one pitch to the center of another. So I think, generally speaking, I accomplished that, even though it wasn't quite 100% perfectly coordinated. See, I was a little bit late there. Ooh, even a little tiny bit of musicality there. Yeah, I would say that is very close to what I want. Again, there are a little bit of inconsistencies. It's not just da 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 da. Some of them there's a little bit of a hang up, but overall, I'm happy with the progress on that. If I could play it like that most of the time, I feel like I'd be good. So I'll make sure that. All right. So Clark, 4 times. This is going to take a little bit. So any questions anyone has, throw them out there. Ran out of breath. Yo, Patrick, just playing some Clark 4. Hope you're doing something more exciting than I am. Eating pizza. Yeah, bro. Did you make that pizza or did you order that pizza? Are you moving? Do you need more space? You didn't get yourself a garage gym finally? Dude, I hit a deadlift PR. I deadlifted 525 the other day. On Friday. All right. Clark 4 in the bag. I'm happy with that. Whoa, you're moving back to KC? What's Jen doing? Unless those are the deets. All right, so a few of these Clark 5s. Here we go. Yeah, sorry, Lemar. I've been starting later and later. I'll try to get back to a morning stream one of these times. I appreciate you stopping by even for a little bit, though. Thank you. Okay, let's take some bets. Oh, no, we have one. We have this one and then one more. All right, here we go. Well, that's a tiny amount of progress that I eventually could find the note. You know, when I was doing my long tones, though, I played that note. I don't want to say no problem, but I played that note. So maybe we just chalk it up to a little bit of fatigue. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Sax of 55. 2 times. All right, let's play some music. Let's have some fun. I'm not quite sure what you mean. Just that it would be long? Or that it would be much shorter. I think that's what you're saying. That it'd be much shorter. Yeah, okay. Took me just a second. Sometimes I'm not very bright. In general, I was happy with that run. I need to get this right here still worked out. That's about the only thing left. it is interesting. I feel like that was a good tempo, a good goal tempo, but as the medium tempo of week 3. So I sometimes this happens where you're just singing through something, you're not really sure what a good goal tempo for something is. And I'm not going to change it now because it'll be fun to challenge myself, but sometimes you just pick wrong, and that's what's nice about the app is you can just, you literally go, you're like, oh no, like this isn't quite right. So then back here at the fundamentals thing, you just click boom. Oops, you can't see that. So if you're thinking one of those exercises is too fast, so you click here, here, come down to wherever the exercise is, here. We just played stocks of 55, so then I could, bump down the goal tempo to 100 or something, So it's that easy to do, and then you hit save and finish, and everything is good. So it's that easy to change things up if you kind of pick the wrong tempo with this app. Okay, back to our regularly scheduled programming. So I'm actually gonna play right around here for a second because I keep struggling with that. I just want to explore it. You know what I mean? Nope, not mail. I don't want to open up mail. Okay. Instead, here. So I think it's just a matter of really trying to sit into the pitch. That may not make sense, but we're going to find out if I'm right. Okay. So I don't need to listen to that. Just need to do it again. Close. I feel like I'm pretty close. This is almost like harder at a slower tempo because of the breathing. Dynamo on this one, I'm playing it in C. So ultimately this will go much faster, and I may not have to worry about the breaths, but it's kind of a fun experiment to figure out where I can breathe. So I liked this breath right here. I think this breath here is a good one. And I'm actually going to put a little pause, because if I were playing this musically, I think I kind of decided on beep up 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 beam pum pum beam pum beep up 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 da 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 dee pum 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 beam dee dee dum pum pum beam pum doo dee dum pum pa dum pum pa dum pum pa dum beat dum dum dum, you know, kind of there a little bit of rubato within that part. But with the metronome, not doing that right now. Yeah, some improvement. The tempo I want to go is something like... something like that. But it's important to me to go slow like that and to really figure out what are the groupings, the note groupings, you know, like these notes lead here, these notes lead there, those are connected, trying to figure out the groupings and trying to understand what's going on. So when I play faster, it's not a question of do I understand, but rather can I just coordinate at that tempo. All right, just a little bit more. And then we're going to go over how I'm going to reorganize Biche 18 so I can finish up learning it and record it. This is 2 times. No! Stop opening everything I don't want to open. Close. Okay. It's honestly it's pretty close to what I'm aiming for. I'm listening for making sure that it's long enough. Oh, 3 times. Making sure that it's long enough and also that it has clarity in the articulation. Like I don't want just clarity, because if we do that, then, or if I do that, then I'm going to just lose the connection between the notes, and it's just going to sound very aggressive and kind of choppy. And if I try to go too long, I'll have all that flow, but it'll sound kind of not very articulate or not very exciting. Thanks. Yeah, like having these recordings is a really cool, like that's exactly why, like having these recordings and being able to go back is like, well, even if it's not quite what I want, hearing that I've made progress is encouraging for sure. All right, one more. The reason I care about this particular approach with the double tonguing is that for things like the opening of Pines of Rome, where we have to tongue really, really fast but still need clarity, I'm trying to ingrain that way of doing it at these slower tempos. I wouldn't use that recording. Sorry, I wouldn't use that mute in real life, but you get the idea. Like I haven't practiced that A2 or that excerpt in so long, but yeah, I can kind of spit out. I can spit it out with clarity, and it's fairly easy. That is why I care about this approach on these double tonguing exercises, and the triple tonguing exercises too. All right, so somehow this didn't get saved. Arbin, page 177, number 88. I think it's a 153. Is that right? 152. Okay. All right. Hit record. 152. All right. So now I'm going to play this last exercise right here, number 88. And the goal is to play it at the level that I went first time. So trying to get my mind right, trying to get my breathing right, and then just really commit. You know what I'm saying? Like, was that 100% perfect? Not necessarily. I mean, we're going to listen to it. It might not be as bad as I thought. Just that one, I think. And so again, it may not be totally perfect. but it's given me a sense of where I'm at and where I need to focus. For me, I just think the focus still needs to continue to be on keeping it forward and then really just but on the slower tempos to really nail that approach home. Okay, so complete day. Good. All right, so that we're chugging along. We're over halfway through this routine now. And so we had Biche 8 here, and we finished it. So with the app, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to hit, if I hit duplicate, it will archive this version of it, and it will send me back to, actually, I'm going to hit duplicate. So this will be Biche 18 second program. And then check to archive the previous. Duplicate. So now I have the routine that I started with. So I'm actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to combine section 1 and section 2. We're going to bump this up to let's say 110. And we'll go 55. So we get rid of that. This will be 110 and 55. 110 and then 55. So, and then we're going to combine section 3 and section 4. We're going to put that here. And then we're going to combine section 5 and section 6. So what was once 6 different sections, now they are 3 different sections. All right, let's see if it'll let me do this. Yeah. Okay. 15 to 29. 15 to 29. So because I changed the sections up, I'm going to hit delete. Yeah. So I'm going to actually hit delete, add etude. So measure 15 to measure 29. Measure 30 to the end. And beginning to measure 14. All right, so that didn't work out because of because I had changed up the sections from the previous. So with duplicate, it'll basically make it so you can take the same exact program and just change the tempos if you want, or to do the same exact program itself. So we're gonna save etude, and now we have Biche 18 second program. We bump it down to 55. And so we come to Logic Pro, open, Biche 18, close. And I'm actually not going to record any of this. So I was using from here to there is one section, and then from there to there is one section. Now that whole thing is one section, so I can get more used to playing through it and building up a little bit of endurance for it. So I'm going to do a mental rehearsal of this, and then we're going to get going. And then we want to, so up by 3. Okay, so not bad. A little bit of centering issues and a few missed notes, but not bad. Okay, better. This time through the program, I'm starting back at the beginning, right? And so it's as if I am just learning it all over again, except for I already know it. And so this is where I really begin to feel like I'm imprinting that next level, where I'm just starting the whole process over again with a lot of information. And so 64 is the top tempo for today. So I'm literally just going through the program again. And somewhere around the end of this week to the beginning of next week, I'll be ready to record it. Okay. Next section, it was from here to there, and from there to there. Now we're doing that entire section. Again, to bridge these gaps, to try to build a little bit of endurance. Hey, Dynamo, I choose my goal or my starting tempos. Especially for something like this, I basically just choose half tempo. I don't really care that deeply if it's that dialed in. So like maybe the first few tempos are a little bit easier than they should be, but that doesn't bother me. For things that are maybe not quite as technically difficult, I might choose 60, or if it's really simple, but I still feel that there's some reason to slow it down, maybe like 75 or 80. Just depends on the difficulty of the thing. But for something this difficult, it's almost always 50%. I'll be right back. Sorry, I just could not hold out. It is so hot in this room. Just sweating like crazy under these lights and all this. So it's a little bit harder to get through these sections, but I'm building up some task-specific endurance that I think is really going to help me when it comes time to feeling confident from the beginning of the etude to the end when I record it. The other thing I'm going to do is speed up the progress of the app. I'll show you that when I'm done with this, practicing this part. I'm going to speed up the progress of the app itself. So I'll get there sooner than 2 weeks. I'm so used to playing the other sections, I just skipped that section 4 last time. So this, I'm actually just kind of a little bit more going through the motions than I normally would through something like this, but it's because of this 2-week period of the previous program where I really dived in, I recorded everything, kind of know how I want to sound. Now I just need to rebuild it back up with that quality that I know like now that I know what the quality that I want is, I want to rebuild it back up from scratch with that quality. M, B, 4, 26 throat. It's apparently just a little bit shallower than a 1C. Okay, so now from here to the end. What do you play now? A park? Or a picket? I don't know what that means, but as long as it works. Yeah, I've played the Biche before. When I was a freshman, I played it for my jury. I tried to enter NTC with it and did not get in my sophomore year. And then I played it on a recital, 5 years ago at Texas Tech. So after I do this last repetition, I'm going to play through the whole thing at 100 beats per minute, and I'll explain why as soon as I'm done with this repetition. So in order to expedite being able to record this etude, I go through the whole day of practicing. And then I might not do this every single time, but I have a little bit of extra chops, I think. If I don't, I'll just quit. But I just want to play through it at 100. That's the goal tempo I left off at last time. Should be able to do it. So I don't have the chops that I thought I did. That's all right. Still some decent playing in there. Basically, I can play this etude except for this right here. So I might have to isolate this separately, but this is the only thing that makes me that I don't feel totally confident with. Okay, so we did all this. So you can see day 2 only has 2 of these sections. Day 3 will have the third one. So I'm just going to play 1, 2 tomorrow, and then complete day, and then I'll play 3. So I'll play day 1, and then day 2 and day 3 on one day, day 4, day 5, and day 6 on one day. So I'll get through all the sections in 4 days instead of 6. Does anybody have any questions about anything that we did today or practicing in general? If not, I mean, I'll stick around for just a second, but if not, I am going to go relax. Maybe make myself a drink. Thanks, computer. I appreciate you being here. Like I've said, I mean, it's good for me to be here and to try to vocalize my process because it kind of helps me work through the language a little bit and to understand, you know, what is useful and what makes sense and all that kind of stuff. But that there's people here watching it and that they're getting some out of it is super cool for me. So I appreciate you being here and checking it out. Everyone who's watched it, I appreciate all of you. I don't know. My favorite drink is probably something with bourbon in it. We got this big old bottle of bourbon from Costco yesterday for Kathleen bought it for Father's Day, my wife, and it's pretty solid. So stiff from doing advanced lip slurs. Ideally, the goal of lip slurs would be the opposite of getting stiff. So, I mean, if I do them for a long time, if I do anything for a long time, I do get a little bit stiff, yeah. But I wouldn't say it's the result of any one thing, whether it's advanced lip slurs or it's, you know, Clark studies for a long time or things like that. Have you run into something like that? Is that a problem you've run into? If so, can you try to describe the problem for me? Maybe there's a way that I can I can help. I appreciate it, Connor. Thanks for stopping by. You too. So right here I have a Canon M6 Mark II, streaming with the camera, and then obviously this is the microphone I'm talking into, and then this microphone right there is the microphone that is generally picking up my trumpet. I mean, both microphones might be, but I'm hoping that one's picking it up more. And then I'm using Logic to record. I'm using, I have this Focusrite right there. That's my interface, where the left side is this microphone I'm talking into. The right side is my microphone. Yeah, and then I'm using Streamlabs OBS to put everything together. I mean, it may seem complicated. It's really just a camera, something to record my voice, something to record my trumpet, and then a software a software to hold it all together. So it's definitely grown over time. My streamings did not look like this when I started streaming, a few years ago. So when I do advanced lip slurs the day before, I'd love to talk to you about this, to be honest. It would be easier to do it like over Zoom. So if you want to do that, I mean, I'll try to answer it real quick here, and then if you want to have like a face-to-face chat, I'm happy to do that. You could just head to my website, send me a message on the contact page, and then we'll schedule a time for us to be able to chat. Do you think that if you just did advanced lip slurs and that was the only thing you did in a practice session, would your endurance the next day be horrible, or do you think it's an accumulation of all of the different things you're doing? Like, I'd be curious to know how long you're practicing and what your practice looks like, and if you're practicing past the point where it's productive, or if it really is the advanced lip slurs. And if that's the case, then we just have to figure out, well, how are you approaching them? Are they too advanced for what you're doing right now? I mean, that's very possible. But it just sounds like fatigue has set in, or your chops are actually like swollen. Some people will take ibuprofen for that. I know some principal trumpets in orchestras where they play a lot. They'll take some ibuprofen at night to help produce the swelling for the next day. There's just a few different things that could be the cause of this. And I feel like a face-to-face conversation on Zoom would be easier for me to help diagnose it. So hopefully that gets you started with thinking like, okay, well, maybe playing less and seeing, or maybe just dropping the advanced lip slurs and trying to hone the things. I guess I got to get off of here now. So reach out to me if you need anything in terms of reach out to Squarespace on the contact page, and we can chat some more. So I got to get out of here because my camera died. So